I'm joined today by 30-year-old Ben Kim, a native of Portland, Oregon, currently living in Germany, in Berlin. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's
Yeah.
funny you said 30. It's the first time I heard. I just turned 30
Uh-huh.
last week, so I haven't yet heard that. It sounds funny. To
Well,
me.
happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. And I must say, I thoroughly enjoyed researching you, reading about you, and listening to your performances online. And when did you first know you wanted to be a pianist?
I think. Well, I always loved playing the piano. I loved music, and I loved piano in
Hmm.
particular since I was a young child, and it was something that I took a lot of my free time, just kind of enjoying myself playing the piano. I don't
Hmm.
think I actually um, really decided this is kind of what I want to do until quite late. I think it was probably even maybe my sophomore or junior year of college when I sort of thought, okay, I'm gonna sort of buckle down and maybe try to do something. But up until then, I had quite a lot of other interests and wasn't sure what to pursue.
Ah.
So yeah.
And what were some of those other interests?
I liked science and math,
Uh-huh.
and and I think at the time I kind of I was going to music school, but I wasn't so sure of myself at the
Uh-huh.
time. I was taking a few classes I was going to Peabody at the time, so I was taking a
Right.
few classes at Hopkins
Uh-huh.
and just trying to discover or explore my options
Hmm.
before I kind of thought, okay, well, I should do this. I should play piano. I should
Hmm.
do this, not later. So
Right, right, exactly. So you moved then from Peabody, then you went to Lake Como, is that correct? Or how did you end up, I guess, how did you end up finally in Berlin, where you're living now?
I I went to the Como Piano Academy starting in 2005.
Hmm.
I was still living in Baltimore at the time, studying at Peabody
Hmm.
with Leon Fleischer and also with Young Hee Moon. Um, and when I started going to Como, I was actually just living in Baltimore and commuting to Italy once a month. It's not the school there isn't full time. You meet, the students there meet once a month for a week or so, and it's usually a different teacher every month, and you kind of spend a very intensive week together, eating all your meals together and sleeping in the same house and listening to each other's lessons basically all day long for I think it was usually 5 or 6 days. And I didn't really live anywhere. I didn't have a reason to be in Europe otherwise. And since I was still in school, I just basically flew to Milan from Baltimore about once a month
Ah,
for a year or so. And then the second year, I don't remember exactly when, but a year and a half later, I got a little place in Berlin.
hmm.
Um, had the opportunity to play a little bit in Germany as well, so I thought it'd be good to get a little place there, and then I could sort of go to Italy when I need to and play concerts in Germany if I had them, and then also go back to Baltimore and continue studying. So that was kind of what was going on for a couple of years
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, very.
before I sort of settled in Berlin. I found a teacher in Berlin,
Mhm.
and I've been studying with him the last few years.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Germany has been quite good to you. You've had major success at a Munich competition there, and kind of launched you into what appears to be a fairly great career already as a performer. So congratulations on that.
And
Yeah.
it definitely gave me a lot of opportunities I didn't have otherwise,
Uh-huh.
at least up until that point. So I was really, I had, I think after the competition in Munich, I was. I was playing maybe 30 or 40 concerts a year since then. So I've I've been very lucky in that regard.
Right, right, exactly. And so, what made you decide to apply to the Cleveland competition?
I've actually I think I don't know. I don't know if it's some kind of sick pleasure in applying for competitions, but I like to apply to competitions from time to time. But before Munich and after as well, I don't know, just I don't like going to them necessarily, and it's a tremendous amount of pressure and kind of I wouldn't say I don't know. It's just not the most natural way to present yourself or represent yourself, really, because you kind of have to play under in under very specific circumstances, and but at the same time, I just feel like preparing for a competition kind of gets me into a kind of shape that I might not be
Hmm.
if I didn't. So
Right.
sometimes I go to a competition and I might have a few concerts before, and I might be busy, and perhaps I didn't have time to get as prepared as I would have liked.
Hmm.
And sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't. That's just how it is.
Yes,
But I was interested in the Cleveland competition just because it's such a well known competition, and I don't know, it fit my schedule. So,
I guess, is there a type of music that you have a personal connection to? Oh, one style over another?
a type of contemporary music, or did you say I didn't?
Just music in general.
I mean, I think in general, I'm drawn to contemporary music, but I think I'm probably closest to me would be sort of all the German, you know,
Uh-huh.
classical and romantic,
Uh-huh.
from Mozart up to Brahms and beyond that too. But I like playing those guys.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, I do like playing. I mean, the music that I'm going to be playing in the second round at the competition I guess, is not like you said, not really contemporary, but it is from the last century,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and I thought it was a nice way to kind of feature that century, from Schoenberg, from the Second Viennese School to French, Debussy,
Hmm.
and also the Russian, Prokofiev. So that was kind of the way I sort of made that program.
Hmm. Yes. Well, it's quite nice. Very, very nice, and very nice program there. Also online, I found a recording of you playing. I believe it was a Schumann quartet, piano quintet. With the Jupiter Quartet. A fantastic performance, by the way. I enjoyed it very much. And is playing
That,
chamber music something you enjoy doing?
very much so. I mean, I have had more of an opportunity to play chamber music over the last couple of years, which I've been really grateful for because I don't play it as much as I'd like to, but I think it's probably when you kind of get to lock in on a few people and everyone is kind of riding that same wave. It's really there's nothing else like it. It's unlike playing alone or playing a concerto with orchestra. It's really something very special, and I think that's I mean part of that's why so many people are drawn to chamber music because you have this new mode of communication that's I don't know. It's interesting because you play the same piece with many different people and you have completely different experiences. And sometimes everyone just kind of clicks. And I don't know exactly how that happens. Whether it usually happens if you know the piece well and everyone knows it well and then you kind of are engaged in rehearsal and then there's a moment when everyone kind of says, "Oh, aha, that's everything's going well." And I think when that happens, it's really a thrill.
I have to ask you about your website.
Okay.
First of all, I know that it's new and a
Yeah.
lot of it's still being under construction here.
Yeah.
But the title, Ben Kim is a pianist.
I I think that the actually basically what we had decided we kind of it was either Ben Kim pianist or Ben Kim comma pianist, or everything looked a little weird just visually. So I don't know, just kind of ended up on that. It's supposed to be a little funny. That's all. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to assert anything, nor do I really feel like a pianist. So if anything, it's probably not very accurate.
No, it's quite nice. I like it. I got a chuckle out of that right away.
So tries to be a pianist.
Yeah. No. And you also have the disclaimer that says no animals were harmed in the making of the site. And was that your idea, or how did
I
that come
think
about?
so. I think maybe I might have seen it on another website and I liked it, so I just stole it.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I just didn't want to take it too seriously.
right.
I also don't like right now. It's everything kind of just it's been it's been on hold for a while because I haven't had time to get back to it. But it would be nice not there's this whole formal bio. It would be nice just to have like a little narrative of maybe what I do and try to make it a little more personal. I don't know. It's not necessary to put my portfolio in there. I mean, no one's going to look at it anyways. Or a list of all, like a 5-page list of all the things of places I played or whatever. That's not so interesting. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so it'd be nice to kind of make the website more interactive. But I just, and we put this Tumblr and the Twitter feed on there, but just have such a hard time keeping track of all of those things, and I run behind schedule,
Right.
and things sort of just sit there for a long time. So I don't know exactly how. I would like to be a little more involved in it, though.
Yeah.
perhaps, perhaps someone can help me fix it up.
Yeah, well, it's quite nice what you have there so far, and it has a very nice feel to it. So, yeah, it was a site I enjoyed being on and reading about you. So, it was good. Well, thank you so much for taking the time again. I really
Oh,
appreciate it, and I look forward to meeting you in Cleveland.